Adam Schefter with a tweet. Now, it's kind of vague here. Packers now expected to try to work out a deal in the coming days to keep head coach Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, per sources. Okay. So they're leaning towards. That doesn't mean they're working on it. They're leaning towards working out a deal with Matt LaFleur, which I would do that because, once again, who is going to put you over the top? If you think John Harbaugh is putting you over the top, I don't think so. And you had some injuries. You had Micah Parsons wasn't there. Now, are there things that need to be fixed, smoothed out, over? Yes. I need Jordan Love to be a big-time quarterback. I need him to be a big-time quarterback. You gotta be a closer. ABC, always be closing. And there's certain quarterbacks that you're still waiting. Are you a closer? Like Caleb Williams is a closer. I don't know, how he starts, I have concerns about. But, man, game on the line, he's not afraid. He's not going to buy a dog. There's certain quarterbacks where you go, somehow, some way, they'll get it done. So they're leaning that way. Yes, Eaton.
I would expect them to try. The Packers. It's such funny words to use. They're expected to try to keep their coach. What? Yeah, I'm sure. I would expect them to try to do that too.
Yeah, it's a vague tweet by Shep. It's almost like he's covering both sides there. They're going to try. Well, they tried. Like, do you want him back or not? That's the only thing I want to know. Because if you want him back, then, is he going to take a pay cut? I don't think he's getting a pay raise, is he? But his agent is going to want a pay raise for him.
Tell me the Miami Dolphins expected to try to keep their head coach, and they did.
Until they didn't.
They could figure out how to keep. Really?
Yeah, Paul.
On the other side of this, if you were John Harbaugh's representatives, would the Packers be the first team that you reached out to or pursued, if that's the right word?
Yeah.
Of everything that's open, Miami, whatever.
Yeah.
Giants.
I don't want Miami.
Yeah.
No, Miami, no. The job that I would probably be more interested in is Tennessee.
What?
Because I can build something there. If I want to be in it where, I got 5 years, I got my franchise quarterback, we got money, and I might be able to go in there and live in anonymity a little bit and then build something. Now, it's not like Mike Vrabel going to New England and turning a team around like he's done. But, you look at that team and you go, okay, who's my franchise quarterback? Do you think Jackson Dart is better than Cam Ward? The Browns situation is a mess. Green Bay, you're going in, you got Jordan Love, you got Micah Parsons, you got, some high-end equipment there. That's a team that could compete for the Super Bowl, next year. But I don't know what, John wants to do as far as what's his timeline. I think he's like 63, 62, 63.
He's 63.
63. He's from the Midwest. I don't know. You go into Green Bay. But you got to believe that, okay, he couldn't get one of the best offenses we've had in the last couple of decades. A two-time MVP at quarterback couldn't get them over the hump.
Exactly.
That would be the thing that now he's a special teams guy. He's, both sides of the ball. But we've seemed to have had a disconnect with the offense there for the last couple of years with John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. So, can he get you over the hump? He didn't do that with Baltimore in the last, decade. Hey, we got you to the playoffs. Okay. Mike Tomlin gets you to the playoffs. Can he get you over the hump? That's what I would want to know. If you move on from Mike Tomlin, okay, now who gets you over the hump? If not, then stay with Mike Tomlin. Yes, Heaton.
My problem is that if you look at the Ravens, they had so many games where they put up way too many points to lose. You can't lose 41-40 to the Bills or, even 38-30 to the Lions. Those are games. You put up 30 points. You put up 28 points, say, you're supposed to win that game.
Especially, a franchise that's known for playing defense. But they had a lot of injuries. I know, everybody has a lot of injuries. It was just they were never quite healthy enough for a long enough. I thought they were going to go to the playoffs. There were two teams I said, look out for these two, probably the middle of the season. I said the Texans and the Ravens, and here they come. Well, the Texans are here. The Ravens, you make a field goal and you're in the playoffs. So, this time of the year when you're saying, all right, we're going to upgrade. Now, do I think John Harbaugh is an upgrade in Miami? Yes. But I don't know about that team. You got a quarterback situation that's a mess. This is what from what I was told, John is saying, first thing he asked, he wants total autonomy. He wants to be able to make the decisions, and he wants you to spend on his staff as well, and your quarterback. So in no particular order. And there's more that he asked, I think, from the Cleveland Browns. But he wants, okay, who's my quarterback? Jordan Love? Okay. Cleveland? Mm-mm. Tennessee? Okay. Miami? Mm-mm. Arizona? Mm-mm. So you start to look around, the Giants got Jackson Dart. That to me is, he feels like he's the Giants' next head coach. But, he might say, boy, it's been a lifelong dream to coach the Green Bay Packers. I don't know. And you got a franchise quarterback you're paying. You got Micah Parsons who you're paying. All right. I can be the foil to Ben Johnson here. Dan Campbell in here. I'm not afraid of these guys. Got a little bit of information. It's kind of a hedge by Adam Schefter. He says that the Packers and Matt LaFleur are leaning towards working on a contract extension. So I don't know if you're leaning towards working out. Are you working on a contract extension? Or you might be. So kind of hedging your bets there with if something doesn't happen, well, they were leaning towards working on it. So right now, it doesn't really feel like that's much of a report. Yes, Paul.
If you're Matt LaFleur's agent, did you call this morning with the friendliest offer to extend your client the Packers could receive?
Well, they're meeting today.
What I'm saying is, when you go to that meeting or you start working on it, you make it a friendlier deal than you may have for the Packers to get done quickly before they can have chances to talk to other people.
I'm guessing they've already talked to other people. I'm guessing. But I don't know if I go in there and say, hey, I didn't do a very good job. I'm going to take less. I don't think you can go in there with your hat in your hand. I think you got to go in there and just say, hey, you know what? We got to get over the hump here. And with a healthy roster, and we learn from these mistakes, and we're going to be the team to beat in the NFC next year. I firmly believe that. Now, he might say, I don't want my client to be a lame duck coach where he's coaching in the last year of his contract. That would be the part, if I'm the agent, that I would say, hey, let's just not hang him out to dry here, where every loss, every press conference is going to be about coaching for your job. If you're comfortable with my client, then let's sign him up. We want to stay here, and we truly believe in this organization, in this team, in this city, in this fan base. And it still goes back to, okay, who are you bringing in? Now, if John Harbaugh is coming in, then you're not leaning towards working out a deal. If you've already made up your mind that you want to go all in on John Harbaugh, okay. But if you don't get him, then what?